Hey everyone, this is Jack G and these are my hobbies. I have something really cool to show you today. I was really fortunate to be given the opportunity to purchase this knife from sort of a Patreon, if you will, from Peter, who has given me another knife for a giveaway, which you'll see coming up before too long if we can hit 1,000 subscribers. So please like, subscribe, tell your friends. Okay, so this is the Rogers design. It is from Richard Rogers. Richard Rogers is a custom knife maker, but he does work with some other companies to do manufactured knives. This one is kind of special. This one is an OEM version, and normally I don't show you the box and opening because there's not much to show. This box though, even though it is a $250 knife, which we'll get into the price, etc., reminds me a lot of the Koenig box. Now this, as you've seen, my beautiful mini goblin, is like a $700 knife, right? So I kind of expect it to come in a nice box like this, you know, with the whole magnetic, you know, opening, presentation, etc. But from a $250 knife, typically as custom ones I'm sure do this as well, I was really surprised. And so let's show you what was in the box. One thing that was kind of cool is the Rogers kind of a family, Sally Rogers, I guess, throws these jelly beans in with everything that they sell. Really cool family knit. They have a ranch in New Mexico. But so this is a little magnetic. You'll see there's a little sticker, says Rogers Designs. Rogers design to distinguish it from Richard Rogers labeling of their custom knives. This nice little Velcro Rogers design kind of stick on here, and they also go by a little group called the Rangers, is what they kind of call themselves as well, the supporters of Richard Rogers. You have a nice little cloth here, kind of put that aside, oops, put that aside, and here is what we came for. So I'll just show you that real quick and then we'll see what else is in the box because I think it's kind of cool. So this is the Slim Utility knife, sometimes affectionately known as the SlUt. So this is a full titanium. We'll get into, like, look at that beautiful Blurple. It is just a really gorgeous knife based on the version 2 of the custom Slim Utility knife. So we'll get into that in a second. Put that aside here because there's more to show you in here, which is kind of cool. Obviously, there's this. Don't confuse this with jelly beans. This is for the trolls. If you want to eat that, you can eat that. A couple little screws, which we'll talk about. And then, which I think is a nice touch, especially for this price point, the bottom here, we have a beautiful little leather slip case. God, isn't that nice? I wish everybody would do that, especially with these little slim carry knives. And just to show you, it fits perfectly, even with the pocket clip. Some people will take off the pocket clip, but look at that, fits perfectly in there, which I really like, so it's not gonna get scratched up in your pocket, you know, titanium snail trails and such. So that's beautiful. You can remove the screws on this pocket clip and replace them with these that are shorter if you don't like the pocket clip, which we'll get into in the pocket clip here in a second. So, as I said, this is full titanium. This is the Slim Utility knife, and you'll see why I think it warrants the term utility. It's all titanium. On the show side here, it is milled, grooved for texturing. You can hear that. It is not very sharp. They did a really good job of chamfering the edges here. This OEM, they've been working on it for over a year with Best Tech in order to get really high end. I mean, this knife would normally run about $3,500 to $4,000. And just take a look at it. It's a liner lock, titanium. You can see it's kind of this Blurple here as well. The clip is Blurple, all the hardware. We'll get into the knife blade here in a second. Really, really good, solid quality, good blade centering. All right, so let's talk about the pocket clip. Kind of interesting. If you notice, at first it was kind of a little strange to me. It looks like he used the like barrel spacers or back spacers you normally see, say on, you know, the Benchmade or something back here, which you probably did. But the nice part about that is that if you look at like the Benchmade, when you're putting this in your pocket, you have to kind of get over these screws and get on and off these screws. With this design, you don't. So it really goes in and out of the pocket really well. Good pocket tension here. Good quality, solid build all around. Really like it. They did a really good job. Can you see like the blues and the purple hues depending on the lighting here? Isn't that cool? I mean, they just did a great job in the anodization. Nice backspacer here as well. Good size lanyard hole, blue and purple as well. Let's do some quick comparisons just so you can kind of see generally size-wise, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's compare it to the mini bug out, which you've seen before. This is a 2.7 inch blade, and the overall handle length is, what is it? It is 3.77 closed and 6.53 overall. We'll see it in the hand here in a minute, but just compared to the mini bug out, pretty close, actually quite close. Let's compare it to the, in fact, the blade length is pretty similar as well. Let's compare it to the Ontario Rat 2. A little bit short in the blade, or in the handle length. Blade length, pretty close. I think the Rat 2 is a 3-inch blade. It actually feels like a bigger blade than 2.7 inches here, which is kind of interesting. And let's compare it to, well, actually, we don't want to compare it to that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a comparison to the Quiet Carry Chase that you've seen in my last video. If you haven't, please check that out. This is the all corrosion resistant. This is a little bit less expensive knife, and in fact, you can kind of tell in this liner lock here, the jimping, milling, I can't talk today, has a little bit of an edge to it, right? Like it's, you can kind of feel it, and it's not quite as smooth as this one is. And I think, you know, that just goes to a little bit more that you're gonna pay, and just the quality and attention to detail that Richard Rogers has done with Bestech, the OEM. So let's talk a little bit about the fact that this is a little bit higher end, like a mid-tech, I think is what a lot of people will call it, as compared to like Richard Rogers did a video on this as well. This is the CEO, which I really like this knife. It's really broken in well with the micarta. This is the Blade HQ. This is about a $65 knife, give or take. Good build quality, but compared to the Cricket, compared to the build quality of this, is obviously a step up. So it's nice to get like an actual OEM. They've been working for about a year, I think I said, with Bestech on making this happen. It sort of has this fuller here on the blade. Instead of a thumb stud, it is not through cut, which there are some ridges here, which gives you a little bit of grip. You know, obviously you can roll it. It's designed to kind of roll as well. But I was surprised once I got used to it, and mostly with the spider flick, it is, whoops, sorry. It's hard to do this in front of the camera. In fact, let's do that again. It's actually quite good with spider flick. I'm doing a little bit more wrist than you need just because I'm reaching around the camera here. But the deployment is really nice on this. It's on bearings. It's really smooth. It is very, sorry, get this in frame, very kind of drop shut, sort of guillotine, if you will. Very smooth, good quality. So let's talk about the blade. I really like this blade a lot. It is M390, and in fact, you can see, I don't know if you can see here, it'll say M390. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see with this lighting. And it says Rogers Design right here. Pretty understated, I like that. The blade itself has good blade stock, quite good blade stock. It is a very, or pretty high flat grind up to about here. It is very thin behind the edge, super slicey sharp, very sharp out of the box. I love the sheep's foot design of the blade. I absolutely love my Benchmade sheep's foot. It is also really good for like draw cuts. Just a really good design, and it sort of has this like drop point here, which makes this nice for piercing, kind of pokey, but not too thin in the tip. In fact, you can tell this was designed, you know, maybe for him around the ranch, because you can use this edge here for like prying, you know, like paint cans and stuff like that. So this is a real utility knife for sure. The blade is slightly coated. It's I don't know how to describe that. They don't really talk about that much. It's I don't know, sort of a, I don't know, acid etched in a way, almost like a light gray sort of DLC coated, and from the looks of it a little bit. Anyway, all titanium, nice pass through. The milling inside is quite milled. It's not, a lot of these knives, they kind of do, you know, a little bit of machine milling. It's really hard to see in here, but it's really cut out the machining. They did a really good job. It literally goes all the way around the edges, and then all this is milled out. It's like 1.97, call it 2 ounces. So it is thin in hand, but not, in fact here, just show you in hand. I have medium-sized glove hands. Really fits well in hand, you know, good size. Don't really feel like I need jimping up here because you have this little ramp here, and your forefinger kind of sits in there. Good choil, finger choil right here. Really like this blade, really like a feel in hand. They did a small batch of these. I want to say they did 100 or 25. What did they do? I wrote it down. 100 each. They sold in, they're selling in drops of 25 each. So there's a gray one, and then also like a bluish Blurple as well. This one I was lucky enough to get from a supporter, Peter, who has supported me as well on my channel. So, you know, I appreciate that. And if you can support me, that'd be great. Went a little bit long because there was just so much to talk about here, but just a beautiful, look at the blues and the purples here. Just a gorgeous knife. Really like the fact that you can just, you know, spider flick it quite easily. Runs on bearings, super smooth. Really liking this Rogers Design OEM slim utility knife, affectionately known as the SlUt. And I'm hoping that Rogers, please, if you're listening, if you're watching, I don't know if you're watching my little channel, but if you can make the MUT, the mid utility, and a couple others as an OEM offering, I think that would be great. So look out for this if you can find it. Secondary market prices, not quite sure what they're going to be. As I said, this is $250. Peter sold it to me at table value, which is awful nice of him. I am going to keep this one. I am not going to resell this one. You can't get the custom version of this. They're just not like available. And I'm hoping they'll make more OEM other styles and such that Richard Rogers, amazing designer, makes, so that they can get them into our hands, you know, get into the mass market a little bit. So there you go. This is the OEM Rogers Design SlUt. Take care, everybody. Please like and subscribe, tell your friends. Thank you.